Good morning all of you. So today I'll have to start your impact of the non-cooperation movement. Okay, so all of you open your book, page number 74. We are going to do the impact. Okay, under the impact means how the non-cooperation movement has actually impacted the society. What are the consequences of the non-cooperation movement, that we are going to discuss, the consequences or the impact or the effect of the non-cooperation movement. Once you see, total 7 impact are given. The first one, for the first time the national movement, the Indian national movement, become a mass movement. What do you mean by mass movement? Mass movement means we have observed the society, the country has observed that the wide participation of the people from different sections of the society, whether it's peasants, workers, students, teachers, women, everyone participated in the non-cooperation movement. So non-cooperation movement has actually made the Indian national movement into a mass movement. That is the first point. Second point, it create a confidence among the people. The people for the first time got this confidence that if we can challenge the British government, we can challenge the colonial rule, we can challenge the British government, and we can make our country free from the British control. For the first time, such kind of the confidence occurs among the people of India, and due to the non-cooperation movement. Then third one, the Congress party for the first time become a revolutionary movement. The Congress party itself become a revolutionary movement. It has transformed the Indian national movement, into the organization of action. Then fourth point, as we know that Mahatma Gandhi has merged non-cooperation movement with Khilafat movement. Okay, so Muslims have also started cooperating in the non-cooperation movement. So it fostered, it encouraged the Hindu-Muslim unity. Then social reforms, many kind of the social reformation that we have already studied, like that's untouchability. Mahatma Gandhi, when he came, he would use the word for the first time as Harijan. He said that those who are the lower caste people, they are the people of God. Harijan, he gave the name. So many social reformation were also promoted, like untouchability, removal of untouchability, then direction of prohibition. All these things have also occurred in the society due to non-cooperation movement. Then spread of nationalism in every part of the country. Wherever the nationalism till now were not occurred, have not rised, that occurred in every part of the country. And the last point, popularize the cult of Swaraj. The Swaraj, that is self-government by the people of India, has become very popular after the non-cooperation movement. Is it clear? Now, impact of non-cooperation movement, I will make you people underline. Now, open your book, all of you. See page number 75, 74 and 75, and please underline the impact of non-cooperation movement. Okay? See, impact of non-cooperation movement. The first impact is the national movement become a mass movement. I have already explained you. So underline, all of you. This point you people have to underline. This point you people have to underline. And you have to underline the Indian national movement for the first time in history acquired a real mass base with the participation of different sections of the Indian society, such as peasants, workers, students, teachers, women. Till here, is it clear? Second point, all of you, just see the second point. Instilled confidence among the people. So you have to underline, it generated a desire for freedom and inspired people to challenge the colonial rule. Only till here. Okay, till here all of you. Then what is the third point? Just see the third point. The Congress become a revolutionary movement. It transformed the Indian National Congress from the deliberate assembly into an organization for action. Okay, then the last line. Thus, Congress become a force to reckon with. Okay, then fourth point, fostered Hindu-Muslim unity. It fostered Hindu-Muslim unity, which could be seen in the merger of the Khilafat issue with this movement. Okay, so how can we see that there was a Hindu-Muslim unity when we have seen that non-cooperation movement got merged with the Khilafat matter? That's why it fostered Hindu-Muslim unity. The next point, promoted social reforms. As a consequence of the non-cooperation movement, several steps were taken in the direction of prohibition and removal of untouchability till here. Then after that here, the boycott of the foreign goods led to the promotion of Indian handicraft and industries, and khadi become the symbol of national movement. This much. And then next point, spread nationalism to every part of the country. Then you will underline here, the movement gave a new boost to the nationalism in India. At its annual only till here, the movement gave a new boost to the nationalism in India. Then after that, next point, the last point, the goal of the non-cooperation movement was to attain Swaraj with the British Empire if possible and outside if necessary. The Congress realized the nature of and value of popular support, and though the movement failed immediately to attain Swaraj, it definitely came nearer to it. Is it clear? This much you people have to underline. The full point. Okay? The full point. Now all of you see. So, I'm just telling you again what is the first impact of non-cooperation movement. The national movement become a mass movement, because for the first time India has observed wide participation of different sections of the society, whether it's peasants, workers, students, teachers, women, everyone started participating in the non-cooperation movement. Second point, instilled confidence among the people. It has generated a new confidence among the people, and they have for the first time realized this, that if they desire they can get freedom, and if they are capable, they are very much capable to challenge the colonial rule. What is the third impact? The Congress become a revolutionary movement. For the first time, the Congress, apart from being a deliberate assembly, it changed into organization of action. All right, it become a force to take the action in the national movement. Then it fostered Hindu-Muslim unity. It fostered Hindu-Muslim unity, which could be seen when non-cooperation movement is merged with the Khilafat movement. Then promoted social reform. Non-cooperation movement has promoted social reforms because it has done lot of work in the direction of prohibition and removal of untouchability. Also, the boycott of foreign goods led to the promotion of Indian handicrafts and industries. Is it clear? Khadi became the symbol of what? National movement. Then comes the sixth point, that is spread nationalism. The movement has spreaded nationalism in the all India level. And the last one, although non-cooperation movement was suspended by Gandhiji because of the Chauri Chaura Kand, it does not get much success later. It failed, but one thing is realized by the people, that Swaraj we cannot get right now, but we can get Swaraj very soon. That is what it is given in the last line. You see, popularize the cult of Swaraj. Under this point, you see the goal of the non-cooperation movement was to attain Swaraj with the British Empire if possible and outside if necessary. The Congress realized for the first time that nature and the value of popular support, though the movement failed, but immediately they are going to attain Swaraj. Swaraj is not very far, rather Swaraj is very nearer to it. That is the most important impact of the non-cooperation movement. Is it clear? So I have completed today the non-cooperation movement. In this chapter, the other movement is also very important. That is called civil disobedience movement. Under non-cooperation movement, we have studied that Gandhiji has urged to the people of India that not to cooperate with the British government and make the British administration in standstill. They want British administration को वो धूल में मिलाना चाहते थे, इसलिए उन्होंने लोगों से अर्ज किया था नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट. वो नॉन कोऑपरेटर बने थे. गांधी जी ने लोगों को कहा था कि हम लोग कोई वायलेंस नहीं करेंगे, हम लोग कोई लॉ नहीं तोड़ेंगे, बट हम लोग गवर्नमेंट को कोऑपरेट नहीं करेंगे. एंड दैट्स व्हाई मेनी पीपल हैव रिजाइन्ड फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट जॉब. स्टूडेंट्स हैव लेफ्ट द ब्रिटिश opened schools and universities, right? And then many rewards are being many awards are being just returned by, like Ravindranath Tagore, Desh Bandhu. These people have returned their titles and their reward to the British government. So this is how they have not cooperated with the British government through the non-cooperation movement, and slowly and gradually it become a mass movement. But all of a sudden, due to Chauri Chaura incident, what happened in Chauri Chaura, Gandhiji took a decision to suspend the non-cooperation movement. But today I told you the impact of the non-cooperation movement. After the non-cooperation movement, one more movement started by Mahatma Gandhi, that is called civil disobedience movement. Means Gandhiji become disobedient. In non-cooperation movement, Gandhiji was non-cooperator. With whom he was non-cooperator? He was non-cooperator with the British government. But under civil disobedience movement, which Gandhiji has started in 1913, in civil disobedience, he become for the first time the breaker of law. He has for the first time, he himself has broken the laws made by the British government. Till now, Gandhiji has not taken such step. He was never being a lawbreaker. He said that we have to, within the law, we are going to not cooperate with the British government under non-cooperation movement. So what is the basic difference between civil disobedience movement and non-cooperation movement? The basic difference is, under non-cooperation movement, Mahatma Gandhi was non-cooperator. But under civil disobedience movement, Mahatma Gandhi became the breaker of law. That is the basic difference. So, what is non-cooperation movement? When we have started, I told you about the non-cooperation movement. That what do you mean by non-cooperation movement? Page number 71. Three factors led to non-cooperation movement. Khilafat movement, then Rowlatt Act, then Jallianwala Bagh. Gandhiji turned from cooperator to a non-cooperator and decided to start a non-cooperation. Gandhiji turned from cooperator to a non-cooperator. Means Gandhiji has actually started protesting against the British government by not cooperating with the evildoer. That we people have already studied. And he urged to the people that not cooperating with the evildoer is essential. So he urged to the people not to cooperate with the evildoer. And who was the evildoer? The British government. But under civil disobedience movement, for the first time, Gandhiji turned the breaker of law. He started breaking the laws. Now open your book. Page number 75, you see the factors leading into civil disobedience movement, the first paragraph. You see the first paragraph. All of you, page number 75. Mahatma Gandhi gave the call for civil disobedience movement in 1930. That is your first thing. When he said that he is going to start the civil disobedience movement in 1930, then this movement was to be different from the non-cooperation movement. This movement means civil disobedience movement will be different from the non-cooperation movement. How different? These lines you see. The non-cooperation movement sought to bring the working of the government to the standstill by not cooperating with the administration. This is the meaning of non-cooperation movement. What is non-cooperation movement? Non-cooperation movement sought to bring the working of the government to stand still by not cooperating with the administration. But what is civil disobedience movement? You see, whereas the civil disobedience movement was an attempt at paralyzing the administration by breaking some specific rules and regulations. This is the most important line: by breaking some specific rules and regulation. So what do you mean by non-cooperation movement? Not to cooperate with the British government so as to bring the British administration in standstill. What is civil disobedience movement? Civil disobedience movement aims at paralyzing the British administration by breaking some specific rules and regulation. That is the meaning of civil disobedience movement. Is it clear? Now all of you see this, the first paragraph, and full first paragraph is very important of the civil disobedience movement. This whole paragraph is very important. So civil disobedience movement, this and this whole paragraph is important. This whole paragraph is important. Okay. Now see, Mahatma Gandhi gave the call for a civil disobedience movement in 1930. In 1930. Okay. In 1930. Then after that, this movement was to be different from the non-cooperation movement in the sense that, underline, the non-cooperation movement sought to bring the working of the government to a standstill by not cooperating with the administration, whereas civil disobedience movement was an attempt at paralyzing the administration by breaking some specific rules and regulation. From here, these lines tell you the difference between the non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement. This is something very important, children. Okay, now further. So I have explained you what do you mean by civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience movement aims at paralyzing the British government by breaking some specific rules and regulation. What do you mean by non-cooperation movement? Non-cooperation movement sought to bring the working of the British government standstill by not cooperating with the administration. That is the basic difference between the non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement. Okay, the factors of the most important reason why Gandhiji decided to start civil disobedience movement is Simon Commission. Simon Commission is not in your syllabus, children. Page number 75, Simon Commission is not in your syllabus, but in very brief I am telling you what is Simon Commission, just for your knowledge. See, Simon Commission is appointed by the British Parliament, okay, to break to do the constitutional reforms in India. The British Parliament have appointed one committee, one commission. The name of that under the head as Simon. Simon was the head of that commission. That's why the name of that commission was called as Simon Commission. Total 7 members were there in the Simon Commission. And Simon Commission was established for what reason? For the constitutional reformation in India. It was about the reformation of the Constitution of India. And 7 members were there in the Simon Commission, and not a single member was belonging to India. All the 7 members were of Britain. So Indian political leaders have said this, that this particular commission was established to do the constitutional reformation of India, and not a single member belongs to India. So Indian political leaders have declared that they are not going to cooperate with the Simon Commission and they are going to boycott the Simon Commission. Only this much you need to know. Okay, so what I told you about Simon Commission? Simon Commission is appointed by the British Parliament as the head Simon. In Simon Commission, 7 members were there. In this committee, 7 members were there. But none of the member was belonging to India. All the 7 members were belonging to Britain. They are the British citizen. And they were coming to India to do the constitutional reformation of India. That's why the leaders of India have said that we are not going to cooperate with the Simon Commission, which become one of the important reasons that why Gandhiji become a breaker of law. He declared that he said that we are going to paralyze the British administration by breaking some specific rules and regulation. And what is the most important reason is Simon Commission. Okay, further. So introduction, I told you Simon Commission is not in your syllabus, so we will not study that. Okay, then recommendation of Simon Commission not in your syllabus, all you cancelled. Nehru report is not in your syllabus. Okay, we have to start with the declaration of Purna Swaraj. We have to start with this. So Nehru report, cancel it. Simon Commission, cancel it. Recommendation of Simon Commission, you cancel it. But only a brief about Simon Commission. I told you that Simon Commission was established by the British Parliament to do constitutional reformation in India. In this committee, 7 members were there and none of the members were of India. So that's why the Indian political leaders have decided to protest the Simon Commission. And Gandhiji decided to start the civil disobedience movement, where he said that we have to paralyze the British administration by breaking some specific rules and regulations. Is it clear? Now we need to study about declaration of Purna Swaraj. Who declared Purna Swaraj? Jawaharlal Nehru. He has declared Purna. He said for the first time that we don't want self-government which is within British Empire. We want Purna Swaraj, means complete independence, means for the first time Jawaharlal Nehru as the president of Congress declared this, that we want complete independence. We want British government to go out of India and give full freedom to the people of India. That is the meaning of Purna Swaraj and declaration of Purna Swaraj. See all of you in the book now. The Calcutta session of the Congress has served an ultimatum to the British government to adopt the Nehru report by the end of 1929 or to face a mass movement. Okay? A Congress session held. Where this Congress session held? In Calcutta. And what ultimatum was given to the British government? The Congress has given ultimatum to the British government that British government must accept the Nehru report, otherwise British government is going to face a mass movement in India. Then, since the 1-year time limit set at Calcutta session passed without any positive response from the British government. So in the Calcutta session, an ultimatum was given to the British government that if you accept the Nehru report, fine. If you are not accepting Nehru report, we are going to start a mass movement. And for this, they have given 1 year time to the British government. 1 year time to the British. But 1 year time passed and nothing positive has been done by the British government. Then the Nehru report was declared to have lapsed at the Lahore session of the Congress in 1929. So finally, as Nehru report was not accepted by the British government, so it lapsed, it's terminated. It's terminated in which session of the Congress? In Lahore session of the Congress in 1929. Then Jawaharlal Nehru was the president of Congress at the historic Lahore session. So when Lahore session happened, at that time, the president of Congress was Jawaharlal Nehru. So for the first time in 1929, Congress passed a resolution declaring Purna Swaraj, that is complete independence, to the objective of Congress. For the first time, Jawaharlal Nehru in Lahore session in 1929 declared that complete independence, Purna Swaraj, is the objective of the Congress party. And on the midnight of December 31, 1929, Jawaharlal Nehru led a procession to the bank of river Ravi at Lahore and hosted a tricolor flag. And finally, in December 31, 1929, Jawaharlal Nehru reached to river Ravi. He reached to river Ravi in Lahore and he hosted a tricolor flag. And he declared India completely free. Okay, then he proclaimed that it was a crime against man and God to submit any longer to British rule. Yes, he said that it is a crime. If man, it is a crime against man and God if still we surrender in front of the British government. The Congress Working Committee met in January 1930 and decided following program. First program, you see, preparation of civil disobedience. Second, as per the Purna Swaraj resolution, the word Swaraj in the Congress constitution would mean complete independence. Third point, observance of 26 January as the Purna Swaraj Day. They have decided that they are going to observe every 26 January as the Purna Swaraj Day in all over the country. They have declared this. Then resignation by members of from all the legislatures, the Congress members are going to resign. Then number 5, withdraw from all possible association with the British government. They said whatever associations are there from the British government, all are going to be withdrawn. That is called complete or declaration of Purna Swaraj. Now whole Purna Swaraj is very important. Now see in the book, all of you. Declaration of Purna Swaraj. First point is this. The Calcutta session of the Congress has served an ultimatum to the British government to accept Nehru report by the end of 1929 to face the mass movement. From here till here is the number 1 point. This is number 1 point. Is it clear? Then after that, second point, start from here. Since this is number 2 point. Since time limit set at the Calcutta session passed without any positive response from the British, the Nehru report was declared to have lapsed at the Lahore session of the Congress in 1929. This is the second point. Third point, Jawaharlal Nehru, here onwards your third point of Purna. Jawaharlal Nehru was made the President of Congress at the historic Lahore session of 1929. In passed a resolution declaring Purna Swaraj, complete independence, to be the objective of Congress. This is third point. Then fourth point. This is number 4 point. On the midnight of December 31, 1929, Jawaharlal Nehru led a procession to the bank of the river Ravi at Lahore and hosted the tricolor flag. Till here is your fourth point. Your fifth point starts from just this. He proclaimed that it was a crime against the man and God to submit any longer to British rule. Okay, this much. This is your fifth point. Then sixth point is just next line. The Congress Working Committee met and decided the following program. This is your sixth point. Okay, sixth point. And these are the programs you people have to study, children. Is it clear? So now see, I have made you underline all stepwise. What is the first step of the declaration of Purna Swaraj? Calcutta session of the Congress has given ultimatum to the British government to accept Nehru report or be ready for mass movement. Then second point, since 1 year passed of the Calcutta session and no positive response has been seen from the British government, then Nehru report was declared lapse in the Lahore session of the Congress in 1929. Third point, Jawaharlal Nehru was made the President of the Congress in the Lahore session of 1929. And for the first time, Congress has passed a resolution declaring Purna Swaraj, that is complete independence, as the main objective of the Congress. Fourth point, on the midnight of December 31, 1929, Jawaharlal Nehru led a procession to the bank of river Ravi and he hosted the tricolor flag. Fifth point, Jawaharlal Nehru proclaimed that it is a crime against man and God if any longer we are going to support the British government. And finally, that is the sixth point, the Congress Working Committee met in January 1930 and decided 5-point program. The first point program is the preparation for civil disobedience movement, means starting. They are going to start the civil disobedience movement. Second, Purna Swaraj resolution become the main resolution of the Congress. Third, every 26th January, on the 26th January, they are going to observe the Purna Swaraj Day in all over the country. Fourth, resignation by the Congress member from the legislature. Fifth, withdrawal from all possible association with the British government. These are the 5 programs are made in the January 1930, all right, under the declaration of Purna Swaraj. Is it clear? Now, tomorrow in my video, I'm going to start the starting of civil disobedience movement. And who started civil disobedience movement? Gandhiji. And Gandhiji, by Dandi March, he has started a march, a procession towards Dandi. Dandi was a seaside in Gujarat. All right, and he has decided that he is going to reach Dandi and he is going to manufacture salt, because manufacturing salt by an Indian was against the law. And Gandhiji, since he wanted to become a breaker of law, so he decided to march to Dandi and to manufacture salt and to break the law. That we are going to study tomorrow, and then tomorrow this chapter is going to complete, children. For today only this much. Thank you, children.